Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? We're back after a really late night last night. I slept in a little bit. Sorry about that. It was really quite late. When I did that court update for Mamta and her husband Naresh, it was about midnight, 1 a.m. local time here. So I've been sleeping in a little bit, trying to get some rest. It is now gone a bit silent. There's not a ton of new information, and I don't expect anything else until they either locate her, which they might, or he heads back to court in October. Now, we've got a bit of a wait ahead of us, so it's a couple of months, and then he'll have another court day to come back in, and I don't know what they're going to do. See if they found her, see if they upgrade the charges. I don't know. But there is a little bit more information about what was said in the court yesterday. Now, we talked a little bit about midnight last night, but some more finer details or context has arisen in the hours after. So I'm going to bring that to you to start the show. Let me set it up, guys. As you can tell, I'm a little slow. I'm a little slow this morning. How are you all? Good to see you in here. Who we got? We got DJ Danny. Kathy is here. Laura T. My friend Karen Canada. Laurie A. Good to see you, my friend. Sean. Mr. Dan Yee. Marilyn Landis. Marilyn Landis is here. Who else am I seeing? Melody. My sweet friend Melody is here. Maria made it. Hey, Maria. Lindy. Nana Lana. Rachel's here. Hey, Rachel. Thanks for the email. Who else? All right. I think that's it. All right. Let me get my camera on. Hey, guys. How are you? Good to see you. Gambler made it too. Gambler, we'll talk about your story after this one. There is an update. If you remember that Canadian real estate lady who went missing, we have an extremely sad update coming out of Canada. When Gambler showed me the link for it and the details of it, I was just like blown away. I was like, wait, what? What happened? And I'll tell it to you just after you get through this article. You guys won't believe it. I swear to God. You guys, no way. Even I'm in disbelief about what happened to her. No, how? I don't get it. All right, so apparently yesterday in court for Naresh, he's been charged with that concealment of a body. And here's a little bit more context for you. So if you listen to the late show last night, the really, really, really late show, late for me, I told you how investigators found a lot of blood evidence within 2 rooms of the family home, including drag marks. They believe that her body was dragged out of the home. So that's a picture. Here. It says here, on Friday, Mamta's loved ones heard the gruesome picture prosecutors are painting during Naresh's arraignment in Prince William Court. A former colleague said, the volume of blood. They used the words blood pooling. They identified large volumes of what looked like blood stain or staining. The other thing I heard is that a lot of the carpet had a pink staining to it. So it looks like he tried to clean the carpet from blood. So when you try and clean blood and it dilutes, you often either get a pink or a brown color. And so it could be a cleaning agent too, but it doesn't paint a very good picture. And they said here, investigators said they found the Bart home in disarray with evidence of blood mainly in the primary bedroom and corresponding bathroom. Court documents say Mamta's body was dragged out of the home. While we have had all our own ideas, I don't think the horrific nature is what we expected to hear today. I don't think any of us expected to hear it was going to be this violent of a murder. I think most of us maybe pictured something like the thing you normally hear with husbands, which is sort of like either a smothering or a strangling, that type of thing. Not a, "Hey, he went and bought a pack of 3 knives and 2 are missing. Investigators only found 1 in the home. They don't know where the other 2 are," and then found a crapload of blood evidence. So, put those put those details together and try and 2 plus 2 and figure it out. It doesn't sound good. It sounds really bad, and that is why they're probably able to charge him with concealment of a body due to the nature of how much blood evidence they found. They're probably like, if a average female human lost this amount of blood, they probably wouldn't be able to survive without medical intervention. So that's probably why they're like, she hasn't appeared at any hospital, she hasn't come to any medical help, and they're probably assuming she is now deceased. Now, from what I understand too, her phone was pinged in an area where he was last seen too on camera. So they're slowly turning the screws on him. They have him. They're just tightening everything down bit by evidence, and I'm sure there's more behind the scenes. When we heard, I think it was Nadia speaking to the media yesterday, she was saying that, there's more evidence that they haven't been able to talk about and things that have been kept private due to the sanctity of the investigation. So there's more, I'm sure. Kathy says, I want them to find her body. Me too. I don't think it's going to be long. I think they're going to start tracking everything, and it'll take some time to break through all the, electronics and subpoenas and stuff like that, but they will get there. They will get there. Hey, I just had a new comment from someone called Texas Jewish Dog Mom. Hey, how are you? She said, or he said, I says mom, so it's a possibly a female. It says, just found your channel, True Crime Junkie here, and Aussie accents are my favorite. May mom to get justice and be found. Hey, thanks for the comment. I really appreciate it. I agree. Hopefully we can get some justice for her. Now I'm going to upload something. A person who was in court took some notes. I'm just trying to find it here. I took a screenshot of it. Let me see which one it is. Okay, it must be that one. Okay. Let's get it on the screen for you. So this was taken by someone who was actually in the court. They took notes on what they heard during the during the hearing. And it says here, hold on, let me get my copy of it so I can read it. So I can read it better. Where is my copy? All right, so it says here, on July 30, they saw him in Loudoun County, 2 trips to Walmart, 3 knives, and 2 unrecovered. He bought cleaning supplies, blood pooling in the bedroom, pink staining on the carpet, blood under cork in the bathtub. So they found blood under the corking. So that's a sealant around the bathtub. That is very telling. They said he tried to sell his home or was in the process of selling his home. He sold his vehicle to CarMax in the days, I think it was August 19th he sold it. He was in the process of trying to sell the property. Hey, would you like to buy a property with blood staining? I mean, who would buy that? Would you come for an inspection and you look around and you're like, yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to have to make a phone call. I'm going to have to call the, county sheriff. I'm gonna have to tell him what I saw. I'm gonna have to leave. I don't know if anyone would buy the property. It says here, blood in master bedroom, evidence of dragging body, and it says tub. So I don't know if that says blood in the tub as well. I don't know. It says that on my notes here. Appeared to be packing. They said there was suitcases open with clothing in them, from what I understand. That he was in the process of trying to get packed and get out. The other thing I heard is that they had passports for him and the child. So he was definitely in the process of fleeing. Last phone activity was 30th of the 7th in Loudoun County. He was at a cafe in the county, declined to report her missing. He said to people that and the police that she was with family in Texas or New York. She doesn't have any family in the USA at all. That's why her mom got an emergency visa to come to America to get custody of their baby. Preliminary hearing is the 24th of the 10th. So that's our next court hearing. He's also playing up some sort of, I'm not fluent in English and I don't know what's going on. He asked for an interpreter in court. Bro worked for freaking companies in the US and the freaking army or whatever, the military. I think he can speak English. I think he's okay. He don't need no interpreter. I don't know what that game is, but he's been telling people he's not that fluent, and he had an interpreter at court. So why? Just wasting people's time. So I think they're gonna. I didn't hear an update about the bond. I know they were arguing it yesterday. I didn't hear an update on it, but let's see if it's here. No, I don't see if they did one. No, there's nothing on this article either. If there is, I haven't seen it. If there is, and you guys have seen it, I'm sorry, but I've not seen it.
Officers are there too. They tell us after an
Hey,
argument,
stop
a
playing
man pulled
videos
out
without
a
my
gun and
permission.
shot.
All right, so there's your update. We can play this little video if you want up here. This was the update from last night for people who didn't get to see the late show.
So this week has been heartbreaking for a community in Manassas Park. We're learning horrific new details about the disappearance of a young mother, Manta Kafobat. Our Katie Lusso is here with me now to get us caught up on where this case stands. And Katie, we know the focus is now on Manta's husband.
Yeah, and since day one, prosecutors told the judge there have been so many inconsistencies in the stories Naresh Bhatt has told police, from the timeline of when he last saw her to why he believed she was missing. That, combined with what they called disturbing evidence, is why tonight he remains behind bars. Mamta Kaflabat, a 28-year-old mother and pediatric nurse, loved to post on social media. In a Prince William County courtroom Friday morning, prosecutors told the judge she was very active on her TikTok. On July 28th, she posted this video of her daughter. Police say she also spoke to a friend that day, but then silence. Prosecutors say her friends and family became concerned, more so when she didn't show up to work on August 1st. On the 2nd, police went to her Manassas Park home for a welfare check, spoke with her husband Naresh Bhatt, and say he told them he didn't want to report her missing because she was with family in New York or Texas. Prosecutors say she doesn't have family in the United States. They told the judge he also kept changing his story about when he last saw her. Talk to me about the last time you saw her.
In the evening of the Wednesday, we were here and then we ate together.
That would have been July 31st. He didn't file an official missing persons report, though, until August 5th. But fast forward to August 21st, police searched the home, and on August 22nd, they arrested Naresh. He hasn't been charged with murder, but rather concealing a dead body. Friday morning, prosecutors painting a gruesome picture of what they believe unfolded inside this home, saying they found evidence of large amounts of blood in the primary bedroom and bathroom, along with evidence that a body had been dragged out of the home. They also revealed that on July 30th, he bought 3 knives at a Walmart in Chantilly. 2 still haven't been found. They believe that's the day Mamta was killed. The next day, he bought cleaning supplies. Since then, prosecutors say he tried to sell his home. On Monday, he sold his blue Tesla seen in this video from when WUSA 9 originally tried to speak to him on August 12th. And when investigators searched the home on Wednesday, court documents reveal they found the house packed, his and his daughter's passports in plain sight. His daughter has been placed in the care of social services. Family friends tell WUSA 9 Mamta's mother has been granted an emergency visa to come to the U.S. from Nepal.
Yeah, it's so tough to listen to all those details, Katie. We know Naresh had his first court appearance today. So what happens next?
So his attorney called this case a media frenzy with no actual evidence, but the judge ordered that he be held with no bond. He does, though, have a bond hearing on Monday. We will be there bringing you updates as we get them, Lorenzo.
Yeah, I can't help but to think about their young daughter.
So there you go. You heard that the bond hearing on Monday. Someone also put it in the chat. Sorry, that must have come out after I went to bed last night, because the last thing I heard was they were arguing something in court yesterday to do with bond or something like that, and I didn't hear an update. So Monday we'll hear. Even if they do give him something, I don't think he's gonna be able to pay it because they're gonna clamp down on any assets that he owns, the home, the vehicles. He won't be able to sell them to get money for a bond or anything like that because they can declare it a crime scene and they'll just hold it. So he won't be allowed to sell it to me to bond. Um, he's at 100%. That's gonna be their first argument is that when we went in the home, we found passports in the open and suitcases being packed along with all this blood evidence and all this type of stuff. So I have a hard time feeling like a judge would be able to find enough ways to mitigate the risk of letting him back out into the community, being that one, he's accused of murdering his wife, two, he's a flight risk, and a bunch of other details too. Like the the defense would have to provide a billion ways to track him or something. It would just be insurmountable to get bond. So I don't believe he will get it. I think he screwed himself on that. So I would be very surprised. Hey Hillary, how are you? First degree. Well, I reckon more charges are coming. Give it a couple. Definitely before his hearing in the 24th or the 10th. Definitely before then, but probably within the next month, we're going to get an upgrade. Lawyers may say he will hand over his passport. You know that America has two borders, right? One Canadian, one Mexican, and you don't need a passport to jump those borders. So I don't think that would mitigate any risk to the judge. He has made very stupid mistakes for someone who acted very above it all, including his own wife. He has made some absolutely calculated, very stupid moves, including just a whole bunch of things. We could go through it, but you guys already heard it all. TS says, I think this weekend they will find more. They just have a feeling, and let's hope. Yeah, I don't think it's going to take that long to track him now that they have control. So basically, what happened once his search warrant went through and now he's been arrested, the police have control. They have full control. He doesn't have any control. He's sitting in a jail. They now have control of everything. So they can start methodically working and unpeeling the layers of that onion even more access to his accounts, to any mobiles, to whatever computers they took, all sorts of things. And it's just going to take a little bit of time for them to work through it because it's now a manpower operation. You need as many people as you can to sift through everything and find the evidence. So give them a chance, let them work, and I promise you, there'll be a result. They'll find her. Do they not have Dateline in Nepal? I don't know. I've got no idea. They'd have they'd have some sort of a current affairs type of program, something like that. I'm sure of it. Probably not Dateline, but they have something like Nepal Daily or something. I don't know. Yeah, he has no control. He's literally sitting in a jail cell with an interpreter and a lawyer. He has zero. Yeah, he's done. Thanks, Hillary. I appreciate it. He's done. Yeah, we're not going to get into that, but I get it. I get the sentiment. Yes, evil. So if you go the other way, no one's going to care. So if you're heading over the other way, not into the USA, they're just like, see ya, have fun. Yeah. So I would still consider him even if he handed over a passport. I would say he has the means and the determination to try find a way out of the USA. They've already started. Some of the evidence in court were phone pings, mostly from her phone, but I think they have some from him too. So they've already subpoenaed telco providers, that type of thing. They may be waiting for Google. That Google often has tracking too, so they may be waiting on that. I've heard Google takes quite a long period of time, even with a subpoena. It can take, I don't know, a long time. Just I don't know what that is, but just more than a week. It can take months. It can take 2 months, 5 months. They work quite slowly. You need to basically pressure them through court to get them to move quicker. So we'll find out. I don't know about that, but maybe you do. Yeah, I don't. What is that? Everyone has a video of him speaking English. He worked in an American job. He was a police officer at one point, even though he was fired. He was a police officer at one point. He worked for 3 or 4 US businesses at one point too. I don't think they would take you to work on a frontline help desk job if you can't speak English. I don't think anyone's going to be ringing up no clearance required help desk, and they'd be like, you can't understand what I'm saying. So I don't believe him for 1 second that he can't speak perfectly decent English enough for him to instruct
So this week
his
has been
lawyer.
heartbreaking for a community in Manassas.
Yes, it has been heartbreaking, but I'm talking, not you. Yeah, I don't think, like, he's definitely had more, he's shown everyone he can talk perfectly fine. He can instruct a lawyer. It's not difficult. A lawyer's just gonna ask you yes or no questions, basically. Do you wanna do this? What are the complications of doing that? What is the, what could we be looking at if we take this decision? It's not hard, and I don't believe it. Yeah, we could do that. Do you guys wanna see that again? And look, I don't want people to come for me and be like, "Ping, you are bashing people who are English as a second language." I'm really not. The guy, we went through his LinkedIn. I mean, he had 5 different LinkedIns, but we went through them. He's worked with places that you need full security clearance, and you need to be able to. He's been through education in the US. He's been through military, like, he's been through in the police academy. I don't think none of those things would take you if you can't speak decent English. They just wouldn't. Hold on, let me find Naresh Bhatt. I'll find that interview with him. Yeah, it's from USA 9. Here's this one in that car park. By the way, this reporter, can I just give a shout out to this guy? I wish I had his name. Hold on, is his name in here? Oh yeah, it's Matthew Torres. I spoke with him the other day. Dude is a legend. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you answering my questions and stuff. He's a really nice guy, and yeah, not one of these snobby reporters who won't speak to YouTubers. He's a good dude.
Sharing with us just some words about helping you out to find her, share flyers, anything like that.
What do you mean?
Just like obviously your wife is missing, and I'm sure you're worried about it.
Yes.
And to kind of get the community to, if they see her, to give a call, anything like that. Would you be ready to share some words with that?
Yeah, either call to the police or any of our family or friends.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Could you tell me that maybe just on the mic, just to say reach out, please help us out. I'm sure you're probably really concerned after all these days. It's been 13 days, and I know you have a little baby daughter.
Yeah. So should I I don't know, should I authorize to come on the media or not? I need to ask something and then I can come back on the media.
Oh, so you don't want to do it now?
No.
Okay.
Because I did not ask them.
Oh,
so I need to ask them. So I'm not authorized or I'm authorized.
I mean, I think it's up to you whether you want to get the word out.
First, I'm gonna ask.
You want to ask police?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm not on the social media, a lot of stuff coming up. So this and that. So like I don't want to say anything, like until concerning either a police or some.
Well, we're only using what police has put out. That she hasn't been seen
Right
since.
now, so I don't want to disclose everything because the investigation is going on. So
Okay. Okay. Could you? I mean, one word. I mean, could you? Why did it take so long for them to put something out?
I don't want to say, like you can ask them. So I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't want to know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I'm not, like I'm suffering from a lot. So,
I know. Yeah, and we're obviously trying to do our part because it's been so long, and we want them to help find her. Like I know you have a 10-month-old. There's a lot on your plate right now, but just anyone's message to help her bring her home if they see her.
That's the message.
That's the message.
Yes.
Okay, to help her bring her home. So you wouldn't want us to say if
No,
you see her.
that's the message. So, like I don't want to do something wrong, so that like somebody say like hey, why you disclose? No, I don't want to talk to the media. Like I don't want to be the bad person. Like hey, why you talk to the media without the person?
I don't think it'd be. I don't think it would be bad just to say.
You don't think, but like you don't know.
But the message is you want them to.
If you're able to fight with a reporter in a car park and you're able to have this kind of disagreement with him and defend your side of the argument, you'd be fine in court. You'd be able to instruct your lawyer. You do not need an interpreter. Stop playing games, man. Just know that you've been caught and you're done. You can't be hiding behind no crap no more. Everyone knows you are the bad guy. There's no getting away from what you did, and they're just going to keep tightening the clamps. They're going to keep doing it. So if you think today is tough, if you think the last 48 hours were tough, it's going to get so much worse for you, man. So much worse. I don't even think you understand. Yeah, I think it's more the fact that he didn't show any care for his wife. It's all about him. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I don't want to seem like the bad guy. Why is that your first thought process when your wife is missing about you? Wouldn't she be the first, priority? Not anything about you. Anyway, there's no point speculating this on anymore. We already know. We know what happened. When we watched this before, we were speculating. We had no idea. Well, I think we all knew, but now we have a fair idea of what happened. Judging by some of the personal details that people have been able to dig up online from Mapta, yeah, I think that he's very controlling, and when she didn't do stuff that he wanted, like when he would tell her to do things or don't do X, Y, and Z, and she didn't do it, he was like, "Oh, you won't be my subservient wife? This America has got you all crazy," and drove him crazy, apparently. Yeah, there's a lot in the background. I still was unable to verify if it was him on Reddit talking. I know there's a lot of people on Reddit who believe it is him, but I was unable to verify it. Like I know there's people that are like, "Well, their cars are the same," and what he talks about, I know, but it's not enough. It's not enough. You need to have something where he mentions his name, or I don't know, says his wife's name is, you know, Mabda or something. But if this is him on Reddit, I have about 100 messages here from him. I'm not going to give out the name, but he was commenting on a subreddit dealing with the case, and he was defending himself basically. And he was like, "Oh, what if she ran away, and what if she met another man? Why do you always go after the man and stuff? Like, you guys are all just man haters and stuff like that." And there's about 100 messages here, but I'm still unable to verify it, unfortunately. And I feel a little uncomfortable putting it up without, getting some sort of verification. Yeah, damn these Americans corrupting our wives, making them post TikTok videos. Bostonese. Are you talking about people from Boston? Maybe. I can't verify that either. We did talk about it yesterday, but there were people posting that he wanted to bring another woman over from Nepal and was trying to arrange visas for her. But again, I can't confirm that. Please don't be running around saying Ping told you that was the truth. I I tried very hard to verify that, and I couldn't get anyone to go on. I couldn't get anyone I tried to contact, no media, no friends, no family, anyone to try and tell me that that was real. And I sent about 40 emails trying to get someone to confirm that, and I couldn't get anyone to confirm that for us. So please don't run around saying Ping told you, but I did hear that. It's not, please, no. I didn't do that. I just said I heard something like that, but I can't tell you it's real. There's a lot of things that come out in these investigations that there's sometimes people online that are bad actors that do a really good job of immersing themselves into cases and then dropping bits of information that seem like they could be plausible, but they're not. And they do it on purpose just to be trolls. So you got to be really careful with true crime. Got to verify everything and make sure that what you're saying is true. Yes, it will, definitely. The American dialect is tricky. Maybe if you're in, I don't know, Georgia, but not in Virginia. I think in Virginia, or Washington, they speak, pretty clear English. TS says some Indian men that I know have told me that they would buy because there is no love in the relationship, nor the Humpty. Oh, yeah, there's no. Yes, I get you. For this guy, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep the facade of interpreter up, but eventually they won't allow him to do it any longer. They just won't. All right, let's move on. Give me 1 second. I want to load up a different story. All right, we're going to go to global news. I'm going to have to break this up a few times. This is a press conference that was about a day ago from York Regional Police Chief Jim McSween. So he confirmed a bunch of details about the missing real estate lady, and her name is Anita Moy. Hopefully I said that right. And these details are awful. Please, trigger warning. That's not good. So this is your warning.
Good morning. I'd like to thank you for attending this morning's scrum. I'll be providing you with updates on the disappearance of Miss Anita Moy of the City of Markham. On Friday, August 9th, our officers responded to a missing person call from Miss Moy's family. She had not been in touch with her family, which was out of character for her. Her disappearance was treated as suspicious at the time. Later that day, Miss Moy's vehicle, a white 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 SUV, was located in the area of Finch Avenue East and Warden Avenue in the City of Toronto. Our investigators began a wide-scale search for Miss Moy with the support of her family, friends, the community, and of course the media. On August 12th, the Ontario Provincial Police in West Parry Sound responded to a report of found human remains on a property on Avro Arrow Road. Yesterday, the Office of the Chief Coroner positively identified the deceased as Miss Moy. This is obviously not the outcome any of us had hoped for. 3 youths have been charged in connection with Miss Moy's disappearance and face firearms and fraud-related charges. Our investigators are looking for any witnesses, dash cam or CCTV video of a vehicle of interest in this crime, a white 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter cargo van. We believe Miss Moy was transported in this vehicle and are asking anyone who may have seen it in the area of 3821 Vandorf Side Road in the town of Wichert-Stouffville, on or in the area of Avro Arrow Road and Highway 400 in Perry Sound between August 9th and August 12th to please contact our investigators. We believe Miss Moy was targeted, and our homicide unit will continue the investigation until we find the individuals responsible for her death. We continue to appeal for any witnesses and ask for anyone with information to please contact our investigative team. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who assisted in the search for Miss Moy, including her family, friends, the community, and the media.
I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to bring you more details from it. Again, trigger warning for this if that's your thing, but hey, it's true crime, and this is what happens in the real world. Okay, I don't really like trigger warning because I think unless you're a survivor of something like that, then like that's appropriate. But for anything else, it's just this is what happens in the real world. We got to face the cold hard truth of the awful things that happen. All right, here we go. They're saying here 3 teens have been charged over her murder. Teenagers. I'm going to give you their ages. Their ages, all 3 teenagers, including another 17-year-old boy and 16-year-old boy, both from Toronto, have been charged with fraud under $5,000. They're saying here another 17-year-old boy from Whitby had been charged with several firearms charges, including unauthorized possession of a restricted weapon and possession of a weapon for dangerous purposes. They also said here, police said they believe the teenagers used Moy's credit card at multiple locations in the GTA after her disappearance. All 3 young offenders are persons of interest in this homicide investigation, but their exact involvement as to what they did is still being investigated. 2 teenagers are now out on bail, while a third remains in custody with a bail hearing expected next week. Police say they are still looking for the 2019 Sprinter cargo van. They said they believe Moy was transported in it in a similar vehicle. And I have more information over here. They said here, a boy 13 has been charged with first-degree murder in the July slaying of a 12-year-old girl. That's a different one. That's a different story. We'll talk about that soon. Oh wait, is this the right one? No, here. Yeah, 3 boys. 2 17 and 1 16-year-old are persons of interest in the kidnapping of Anita. So that is pretty bad. I'm trying to find that other link that Mr. Gambler gave me because that one's better. Here, global news. Thanks for your help with this one, Roy. I appreciate it. It says here, don't do that. We don't want to watch your ad. It says here, burned human remains, body of missing Ontario real estate agent identified. They said the York Regional Police say the burned human remains that were found in Parry Sound have been identified as those from a missing Ontario real estate agent. So her remains she wasn't only murdered, they tried to burn and disfigure her remains. And we're talking about a 16-year-old and 2 17-year-olds. This is not like a jilted lover, a person who wanted her. They targeted her I'm guessing they thought she was very wealthy and they wanted to steal valuables from her. Very short-sighted because now they're going to basically piss away most of their adult life. I don't think the community is going to stand for them being done in a juvenile court. We'll get to the other story. Sorry, I read the wrong headline. That was a different story. Kids need more places to go so they aren't hanging on the street. Yeah. Rachel says my friend who's in real estate shared this this morning. She was heartbroken our boys grew up together. Yeah. I'm guessing they thought she was wealthy and that they could get money from her because they have alleged that they used her credit card after she went missing. They used it to buy items, and that's one way they were able to track who might be doing this because they used her credit card after she went missing. Her car costs over 100K. Yeah. That's more than a year's salary for a lot of people. So extremely sad update. I don't think any of us wanted that. And I think with her being missing for so long, but one of the interesting details is from what I've been able to gather, they had her body for over a week and had no idea it was Anita Moy. They didn't know who it was due to the state at which the remains were desecrated. They had no idea if it was female, male, if it was Anita, if it was Jenny, if it was some other woman. They had no idea. And it took them over a week to make the link between Anita and the burnt human remains that they found. It took them quite a while, so. Karen Catter says, yeah, we drive those vehicles. It just means we're in debt. That's true. You have a car note, right? You have to pay your car note every month. Yeah, it would be a very difficult investigation. But again, we bring it back. 2 17-year-olds and a 16-year-old abducted a grown woman, stole her property, credit cards, money, killed her, and then set her body on fire and dumped it. It just seems unreal. Unreal that kids that young are so brutal that they would do this to like a lady who could be their mother, could literally be their mum, and they would do that to them. I can't believe it. That we have in Melbourne where I live, we have a very bad teenage, I don't know what you want to call it, like crime epidemic, and it's pretty bad down here. We have repeat offenders who break into people's homes every night, steal vehicles, kill people in vehicles, like they hit people, like cyclists or pedestrians or whatever, and they just run them over and kill them. And they go to court because they're young, they get bail, they're back out on the street the next day, and they just do it again. And it seems to be happening over and over again. And they get this sort of inflated sense that they can't be stopped because they keep getting out and they keep getting allowed to do it again. So what message are you sending them? You're just sending the message that if you do something and get in trouble, you just go to jail for like a night until you have to go to court, and then the court says you can go again. It's ridiculous. There's no penalty. There's no repercussion. Younger males are more dangerous. I don't know. You seen some of the young girls? Young girls against another young girl might be just as dangerous as some young males. I promise. Those young ladies can be very vicious when it comes to other females. They can be extremely territorial, just mental over the smallest indiscretion. Anything that they see that could be a problem. Let me try and get you a better update about Anita. Hold on. Sorry, there's an ad. I'll show it to you when the ad disappears. I don't want you guys to have to watch a 1-minute ad. What country do we live in? What world do we live in? Oh my god, it's a portable fridge. I've never wanted one of those. Oh my god, it's a caravan? I'm definitely not going to buy it. Oh, she's showing us an electronic fridge for your caravan. Thanks for that. I would never have guessed. Just hurry up. I've got an ad blocker too. Why is it not working? Oh, here we go. Maybe you should turn it on, Ping. Turn the ad blocker on. Then you don't have to watch it. Oh, is this the same one? No, it's
of
okay.
Miss Anita was treated as suspected coroner in the area and our investigation into an
Counts of fraud. The young unit have
our investigative team.
There we go.
York Regional Police Homicide Unit have arrested and charged 3 young offenders. One of the young offender has been charged with 3 counts of fraud. Another young offender has been charged with 1 count of fraud and multiple breach of court orders. And a third young offender has been charged with multiple counts of fraud, firearm-related offenses. All 3 young offenders are persons of interest in this homicide investigation, but their exact involvement as to what they did or what they had to do with this investigation and with the disappearance of Ms. Moy is being investigated.
Where's the fraud charge coming from? What do you suspect on that front?
So we believe at this time that Ms. Moy's credit cards were used by these young offenders.
And did you see that message? They're like, ads help us pay for our news. And I was like, keep watching. Nah. James says young offender. They're basically adults. They're like, some of them are only a few months from being 18. Snapcrackle Pop says, I need a mini fridge. I don't know what she was showing. It was something about like, you know, people who have like caravans or whatever. She's like, oh, look at this tiny little fridge, this little bar fridge. It'd be great. It runs on, 12-volt something, and it looks great because it's black. And even though we have a entire wood interior, which you would think white would look better, but no, we have a black fridge. It looks great. It's terrible. No, what, a foldable fridge? What kind of fridge is that? Well, we don't know much background about these young people, whatever you want to call them. Why don't we just call them criminals? Because I don't like the thing of youth offender. Just call them criminals, because that's what they are. Yeah, a few days following her disappearance on August 12th, police said officers with the Ontario Provincial Police reported that burned human remains were found near Avro Arrow Road and Highway 400 in McDougall Township, part of the district of Perry Sound, more than 200 kilometers from where Anita went missing from. So you could understand why maybe they didn't make the connection straight away. They're like, it's over 200 kilometers away. There's no guarantee that this person is Anita. We can't tell who it is because it's been so badly damaged and burnt. And no wonder it took about a week for them to be like, hey, maybe this is that missing real estate woman. So they finally did make the connection. They said the officer of the chief coroner has positively identified the deceased as Moy. Police said during their investigation they learned the suspects they had identified were allegedly in possession of property belonging to her. The 2 teens, two 17-year-olds and a 16-year-old, were charged. Charges include fraud under 5,000, firearm-related offenses, and failing to comply with probation or release orders. So what does that tell you? That tells you that they've been in court before, that these people are not first-time offenders. They have been in the court system previous times, 100 times, who knows? But it sounds like Miss Moy was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and for some reason they thought they could get a lot of money out of her. How's that though? Imagine being 16 or 17. Everyone think back to when you were just before you turned 18 and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get an ID and I'm going to go drink my first alcoholic drink. If you're anywhere but the USA, if you're in the USA, you'll have to think forward like another 4 years. But everyone else in the world, 18. That's what we were thinking about. We're like, oh my God, in like a month, I can go to a pub and buy a beer and I can get drunk and meet girls at the pub. That's it. Like, we weren't thinking, okay, I don't have a ton of money because I'm a teenager. Let me go and stalk a real estate agent, abduct her, steal her property, and then, shoot her or something and murder her, and then dump her remains and then burn them. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. I I don't know what's going through kids' heads these days. Danny says, tells you they are on probation probably for heinous crap. Yeah. 16 in Barbados? Yeah. Tia, yeah. I like all the countries where you can drink. Yeah. Karen Canada's like legally. I heard in the US, like everyone drinks from 18 or even younger, that no one even sort of abides by the 21 thing. They just get their friends to buy them alcohol. Yuta was saying, I was drinking in a pub at 12. Tia says, I'm kidding. We do drink at 26, but legally it's 18. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, in Australia, it's 18. I know in America it's 21. I think Canada's 18 too. You worked behind a bar before you were 18? Actually, I did an RSA training a while ago, and the laws changed here in regards. Each state in Australia has a different law. So in some states, say that your parents own a pub and you're a teenager. In some places in Australia, you can legally serve alcohol if you are under 18. But in some of them, you can't. It's like fully illegal. No children under 18 at all. It doesn't matter if your parents own the pub. It doesn't matter if you work there. You just can't be there at all. So it depends on which state you're in, which law it applies to. So Sean said, so did I. I think the law has changed now, Sean, because if you're in New South Wales, the law is now in New South Wales that you must be over 18 to serve alcohol, I think, in a licensed venue. I think it's only SA and Tasmania that have the under 18. If you're under 18 and employed, you can serve alcohol, but you have to be in a relation to the license holder, something like that. Well, what time is it in California? It's 9:40 in California where Moonlight View is. She's probably doing something way more fun than sitting here. She's probably out getting dinner, hanging out with the kids or something, or hanging out with her partner. She might even be getting some. You don't know. It's a Friday night. No, James is like 9:40. Yeah, we know. Okay. Let's move on. No more about Moonlight View and her personal life. No more. She deserves privacy. All right, let's go. Let's get to a different crime. Yeah, I got this story given to me earlier today. I think it was Rachel who sent it to me out of Rexburg. Don't we love Rexburg? Rexburg, Idaho. Here we go. We have to go to local news 8, whatever that is.
An investigation is underway tonight in Rexburg following a late night shooting at a home in the Mill Hollow area. Tonight, police have identified the victim and the suspect. The victim is 35-year-old Ariana Ramos Chavez of Rexburg. The suspect, who is in custody, is identified as 32-year-old Fabian Hernandez, also out of Rexburg. He is charged with first-degree murder, felony possession of a controlled substance, and misdemeanor possession of paraphernalia. Local News 8's Ariel Jensen was there this morning as police were still investigating, and she talked with some of the neighbors. Ariel, what'd you find out?
Well, Todd, I was in Rexburg this morning after news of the shooting broke. I was able to speak with neighbors. Not all of them wanted to go on camera, but they did have a lot to say.
Many neighbors woke up this morning confused about all the police in their neighborhood. Many told me that they had no idea that gunshots were fired here, let alone a woman had died. But I spoke with one neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous. She heard the whole thing.
Well, first we heard a gunshot and it sounded like a firework at first. And then we heard two more, and my husband came in and told us to lay down. And then we heard a fourth one, and then we just started hearing like crying, wailing, like super sad.
When police arrived, she was able to capture the moment the suspect was taken into custody. Neighbors say this was a shock. They said that the Mill Hollow neighborhood is normally a safe and quiet place to live. It was especially disturbing to those who have children at home.
It was super scary because we have kids, and we just didn't know what was happening and didn't know if there was danger or anything still. So it was super scary.
Other neighbors did not want to go on camera, but all of them had the same experience in common with their late neighbor and the suspect.
No, we didn't really know them. I think I've seen them around, but I haven't really talked to them.
At this time, we don't know exactly what led up to the shooting, but we are told that this is an isolated incident and that there's no threat to the public. In the studio, Ariel Jensen, Local News 8.
Ariel, thanks a lot.
I love how they're always like, it's an isolated incident. Like that's somehow supposed to make us feel better. Don't worry about it. They were targeting her. It was an isolated incident. You don't need to worry. Ain't nobody gonna come kill you. It's like still a woman died in our street. We're worried. Like, don't worry about it, ma'am. It was an isolated incident. All right, here's a photo of him. Fabian Hernandez. They said the 32-year-old man was arrested Thursday night after reportedly admitting to police that he shot and killed a woman after an hours-long argument. He's being charged with first-degree murder, felony possession of a controlled substance, and misdemeanor use or possession with intent to use drug paraphernalia. Methamphetamine? Court documents say a Rexburg police officer was called to the home on the 600 block of Lilac Street around 11:15 p.m. for a report of a homicide. Sorry, I'm not laughing that it's a homicide. It's like, imagine if you got a call as a cop and they're like, "Hey, what's the call?" And they're like, "Yeah, just someone dead." What do you mean? Oh, it's a homicide. Oh, okay, let's go there. I don't know why my mind found that so bizarre, but they're just like, yeah, we just got a call for a homicide. Just another day out here in the streets of Rexburg. They're saying after arriving at the home, the officer reportedly saw a woman identified as that 35-year-old woman, Ariana, lying deceased near the base of the foot of the stairs. According to court documents, she was shot multiple times in the upper body. According to police, the partner lived at the home with her domestic partner. Wait, what? She lived at home with her domestic partner, Hernandez. They're saying a lieutenant with the Rexburg Police Department was reportedly told by one of the children that when they arrived at the home, they saw him with a gun in his hand standing by her body. And that came from a child. Those poor children. Court documents say the child asked Hernandez why he did that to their mum, to which he began apologizing and dropped the gun near her body. When officers arrived, the gun was still next to the body when they arrived at the home. When officers first arrived, Hernandez allegedly laid on the ground in the prone position. Is that some sort of Gen Y, sex position I've not heard of? What is that? Oh, it's like, they lie on their gut. Okay. It could be then. They're saying, I'm the one you're looking for. I'm the suspect. Well, thanks for pointing it out. He says Hernandez then reportedly told police that he blacked out, but nobody else could have shot his partner. Okay. So how did you black out? Too much methamphetamine? Let us know. He then told officers that the doorbell video camera on the front door of the home would have captured the alleged murder. He reportedly allowed officers to search on his phone for the video. Good work, man. Good work. According to police reports, Hernandez told officers that he and the woman had been arguing over text between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. that night about infidelity and drug use. She had reportedly told him to get his shit and get out, referring to methamphetamine he had in the bedroom. Hernandez told officers he spent between $300 and $500 per week on methamphetamine. He then told police he bought the gun used to shoot her for $300 off a Facebook group. He told the officers everyone in the house knew where the gun was located and that it was always loaded. He then said he called 911 to report that he had shot her. Well, at least he did that. Police say Hernandez appeared to be under the influence of drugs, so they asked for permission to do a blood draw. Hernandez asked for an attorney before consenting to the blood draw. Court records say that another of her children spoke to a detective and said they heard Hernandez and their mom arguing. Hernandez threatened to shoot her and then saw him get the gun before going back outside and shooting her 3 times. Hernandez was then taken into custody and booked into Madison County Jail. According to police reports, during the booking process, a glass methamphetamine pipe with meth residue in it was found with him at the jail. Oh, that is, if you've ever watched, what's that stupid show where they have like the live PD or whatever, live PD? If you've ever watched that or Cops, you will know that they always warn people, do you have any drug or drugs paraphernalia on you? Because they're like, once we get back to the jail, if we find it on you when you're in the police station, it's an additional charge. You get done with like, what is it? It's like bringing drugs or drug paraphernalia into a prison. So they always warn people like, tell us now so we can save you a charge. So he'll get done with an extra charge for that. He was booked on a $1 million bond and attended his first appearance Friday afternoon. A no contact order was issued for the children who live at the home where the alleged murder occurred. Man, I hope someone's going to take care of those children. They don't mention where they went. Hernandez is expected to appear for a preliminary hearing on September 4. If convicted, he could face life in prison or the death penalty. Hey, he can go be friends with Chad Daybell. Though Hernandez has been charged with these crimes, it does not necessarily mean he committed them. What? They have him on camera, and he admitted to it. Yeah, I don't think you need to put this warning at the end. It's all good. He admitted to it. They have witnesses, which are children, and they have a Ring doorbell, which shows him shooting her. It's good, man. You don't need a legal disclaimer. It's okay. He admitted. He confessed. Danny says, poor kids. They don't mention what happened to the children. They must be in CPS care or something like that. They don't mention in the article. Do they? Someone here is like the blackout defense. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. 100%. She was, it sounds like she was trying to make her life better. She told him to get his drugs and get out of the house, and that she didn't want methamphetamine around her children. She was trying to be a strong mom. She was trying to get negative influences out of her life, and she ended up being killed because of it. So think of it like that, not that he just killed his partner. She was literally trying to clean up her home. Yeah, I don't see anything about what happened to the children. They had to hit a certain word number, Tia. They're like, oh, if we hit a certain word number and viewer like reading time, we'll get an extra 50 cents per ad revenue. Yeah, interesting that they probably warned him. I've seen what they do. They don't normally search you before you get to the jail. They'll pat you down and make sure you don't have like a knife on you, but you could be hiding it elsewhere. they will say, if we get you to the jail and you have any drugs or, like a meth pipe or a crack pipe on you, we will have to charge you with another crime. And they say, just give it up now. It's better for you. It's, you won't get another felony. And sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Seems like he did not do it. Seems like he wanted to try bring it into the police station. Why? I don't know. Let me see if I can find anything else about Mr. Fabian Hernandez. Let's see. Actually, maybe if we search her name. Her name is Ramos Chavez. So, Ariana Ramos Chavez. Okay. Not a ton. Not a ton of like media articles or anything on her. Don't have only local news 8 and then the one from Rexburg that everyone knows, and then Crime Online. They are the only ones who did it. I was trying to look for anything about the children, but hey, he got given a $1 million bond. Do you think he's going to be able to pay $1 million in bond? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if Mr. $500 a week on meth can pay $1 million bond. All right, let's go to a different story. Let me see if I can find it. All right. I hate when this happens. Come on. Sorry, guys. My links are not working. Come on. All right, here we go. Georgia man accused of killing wife, burning body, arrested in Louisiana. And they're saying Kenneth Harden Jr., who was accused of killing his wife and burning her body, was arrested in Louisiana on Wednesday. He is currently awaiting extradition to Georgia to face charges of killing his wife, Kerry Harden. The officers could definitely tell immediately that there was somebody with some blood loss and that somebody had attempted to clean the crime scene. Huh, really? That's interesting. That doesn't relate to another case that we've been talking about at all. I've never heard of such a thing. So you can see here, the officers could definitely tell that somebody had been hurt on the property and that somebody had tried to clean a crime scene. They're not dumb. Cops are not dumb. They have seen it a million times before. They said Kerry Harden's body, which showed signs of gunshot wounds, was discovered on Wednesday in a shallow grave behind the couple's home along Merlin Court in Fayetteville. They said it's shocking as hell. Definitely seems like something that would be on like one of those shows. I didn't expect that. That's the sheriff talking. He's like, it seems like something that should be on one of those true crime podcasts. Bro, you work in the police station. All right, let's watch the video.
Fayette County Sheriff's investigators are currently in Louisiana interrogating a man accused of killing his wife at their Fayetteville home.
Investigators say they found his wife's body partially burned and buried in a shallow grave. Fox 5's Eric Mock joins us from the Fayette County Sheriff's Office with details about this gruesome crime.
Fayette County Sheriff Barry Babb says in his almost 40 years of law enforcement experience, this is one of the more grisly crimes he's had to work. But thanks to quick work and coordination with other agencies, they were able to catch this suspect, even though he'd fled all the way to Louisiana.
It's shocking as hell. Definitely seemed like something that would be on like on one of those shows. I didn't expect that.
Jabril Muhammad says he would have never expected his neighbor, 39-year-old Kenneth Hardin Jr., to be accused of something like this.
He seemed like a cool dude. Like I said, he had a fireworks show down here for the kids before the 4th of July.
Fayette County Sheriff Barry Babb says Hardin shot and killed his wife, 39-year-old Carrie Hardin, early Tuesday morning while his children slept.
So they went to school on Tuesday, never seen their mother.
The sheriff's office says it learned of the crime after Hardin flew his father into town and gave him his last will and testament.
He had told his father that he had shot his wife and pretty much that he was now going to be on the run.
Hardin's father called the sheriff's office, who began investigating. Babb says a license plate reader helped them track Hardin's car to a motel in Louisiana. A SWAT team there moved to take him into custody while they searched the large property for his wife's body.
I got almost basically 2 calls at the same time that the cadaver dog located our victim, which was buried in a very shallow grave on the back part of the property. And at the same time that the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office took him into custody without incident.
Sheriff Babb says the body was partially burned. He says Fayette County investigators got on the first flight to Louisiana Thursday morning, where they've apparently had no trouble interviewing Hardin.
He is completely cooperating to the point that I will tell you that Captain Lee, who has been an investigator at least 3 decades, said I've never had a homicide suspect want to tell us everything.
Sheriff Babb says so far the motive they've gathered from Hardin was a late-night domestic dispute mixed with heavy drinking. Well, Sheriff Babb is also just breathing a huge sigh of relief because investigators have learned that Hardin was, considering committing suicide by cop, and he was heavily armed. And of course, they're concerned after the recent shootings of law enforcement in both Paulding and Carroll County. But thankfully, Hardin chose not to go through with that. Reporting in Fayette County, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
What an awful story, right? Hey, Utah, bye. See you later. Bye.
New tonight, the man accused of
Hey.
firing at deputies in Carroll County has been arrested after a massive manhunt.
All right, massive manhunt. So yeah, Mr. Kenneth Hardin Jr. accused of killing his wife and burning her body. What is this? Why is everyone burning bodies at the moment? There's a photo of him, by the way. Mr. Kenneth, and he's in jail, thankfully. Kathy says, I don't know why anyone would like Louisiana. I don't know. I've never been there. Oh wait, no, maybe I've been there. Hey, at least he tried to bury her. If you want to take, no, I can't do it. He said he had related that his son, he relayed, not related, relayed. Whoever wrote this did not do it properly. Not that he had related. He had relayed that his son had purchased a plane ticket for him to fly to Georgia and meet him at a bank earlier. Hardin says he handed over all his bank accounts and other fiscal responsibilities to his father. It was what Hardin next told his father, which prompted his father to report it to law enforcement. He had told his father that he had shot his wife and pretty much that he was now going to be on the run. Hey man, what a great father. The fact that he rang the police, right? Told them, hey, my son hurt his wife and that I'm trying to do the right thing and call it in. What a great dude his dad is. Wow, that must be a really hard decision, right? To dob your son in, but know it's the right thing because he's committed an awful crime. What a great guy. That's really interesting. You don't hear that very often, where a parent will dob their own child in. Let's see. Here. They said he told, yep. Dozens of investigators combed through the property, reviewing surveillance video and collecting evidence as deputies. Yeah, thanks for not completing that sentence. Who wrote this? It must be AI. The tragedy is here was a family that is now completely imploded, and you've got more than one victim that's deceased. You've got a lot of victims, especially those little boys, according to the sheriff. That is very true. They're saying Fayette County deputies tracked Kenneth Harden to a motel in Covington, Louisiana, with assistance from the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office and the Louisiana State Patrol. Harden was apprehended by a SWAT team in his motel room. They said, I got almost basically 2 calls at the same time that the cadaver dog located our victim, which was buried in a very, very shallow grave on the back part of the property, and at the same time from the other sheriff office in Louisiana that they took him into custody without incident. So glad he's in jail. Let's see if this.
First of all, afternoon. Thank y'all for being here. We don't do this a lot because we have a community that's very safe, but at the same time, anything can happen anywhere, and everybody has to be vigilant. I just want to kind of go to my left here and tell you a little bit of the team that we have here in case I need to refer to them, which is our community engagement officer, which is Alyssa Kendrick, who most of y'all have already met and communicated with. Major Ethan Harper here is our director of criminal investigations and pretty much ran the operation. And of course, Chief Deputy Anthony Rhodes, second in command of the agency, ran as the incident commander yesterday on a homicide scene that we had. I think the best way for me to tell this story, and I don't do well with scripts, I think the best way to tell the story is as it developed for us, because it will go back in time for everything that we do know. So what had happened was yesterday at approximately 11 a.m., we get a phone call from 145 Merlin Court, which is in northwest Fayette County. And we got a call from a man who had identified himself as a father of an individual that inside this residence was a homicide scene. He had related that his son had purchased a plane ticket for him to fly to Georgia and met him at a bank earlier before we were notified and had done legal documentation, control of bank accounts and things like that. Told his father, which we would identify the suspect as Kenneth Harden Jr., 39 years of age, that he had told his father that he had shot his wife and pretty much that he was now going to be on the run, that their 2 children and the victim would be his wife, and their 2 children were in school, an elementary age child and a middle school child. So part of the timeline is we are very sensitive to what these children know and wanted to make sure that that was in line, among other things. So when officers got on the scene, they cleared the house. It's a very large, very nice house, nice neighborhood. Matter of fact, the neighbors had told us that they were good neighbors, no issues. I think we had 2 previous calls for service there, which were very benign, like maybe a suspicious situation in the neighborhood where they had called something in. So nothing that would
Like you hear from the sheriff, they got calls to the property a couple of times in the past, but nothing that would, you know, throw any red flags that there was something bad going on in the home. But awful situation really is. By the way, I haven't seen my friend Moon Shadow in a while. I hope she's doing okay. I need to actually reach out to her and make sure she is okay. I haven't seen her in like a week. Actually, I'm gonna email her after I get off the show. I just want to make sure she's okay. I always worry about my people. If I see everyone here every night for months on end and I don't see them anymore, I get very worried about them. You know, because I like you all. Angela says, I would love a gun, but as I'm Scottish, there is no chance of that. Yeah, sort of here, like here too, you can't really have, well, you can, but it's a pain in the butt to get one. It's like it's way more effort than, you know, what it's worth. Hey, I want to thank someone sent in, I think this is like our first Ko-Fi in about a week. I really appreciate it. Oh, it's from my friend Laura T. Thanks, Ping. That's all she said. Thanks, Ping. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. I thank you. Thank you. That is very kind of you. Look, I know people are really annoyed that the ending or the start video is not back yet. I have not want to be no, that's not the right word. I've not I've not want to no. I've lost my words. I've lost all the words. I've not been wanting to annoy Reby because she's not been feeling well, and obviously she's going through something that we know that she said in the chat the other day. So I've not been wanting to annoy the crap out of her to help me fix the new start video that we have. I just don't want to do that to her where she's having a hard time, and unfortunately I need her help to do it. So, but I can show it to you. I can't wait till we can actually do it because it looks awesome. Here, I'll show you what she's got so far. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna have the scrolling things. She's been working on it. We're gonna change some stuff in it. I've got some ideas that we want to work on. You've refrained. Yeah, so we're still working on it. Actually, no, maybe you're not, but I promise you, some people are annoyed because I've had a couple of emails from people. There's a couple of our people that very nice people. I like them, but they get a sense of enjoyment out of that sort of like member or subscriber video at the end or the start or wherever. They get a sense of pride by seeing their name on there. So it'll be back soon. I hope by Monday. It's been delayed longer than I hoped because we can't use the other one anymore. The old one that we used to use, now that we've got the memberships activated, it's far too big, far too big. Like I can't put that many names in that video because it only gives me a little bit of space on each page. That would literally be like 1% of our members. So I can't do it. So we're having to use a different new software, and that's taking some time to learn and stuff like that. So just hold on a little bit longer. I promise it'll come back. Yeah, it'll come back. I love doing it. It's one of my favorite things on the channel is you guys getting a kick out of seeing your names in the video. So it really is one of the fun things I like doing each week. But we're having to use a completely different software that we normally don't use, and it's taking a little bit of learning. It's not as easy as like normally we use Canva, and Canva is very intuitive. Like it's so easy. You can just go bang, 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 and make a whole new video in about 5 minutes. I used to be able to. I'll tell you, when I used to come on every night, like 10 minutes before we went live, I just logged in, made a whole new video, put all the new names and stuff, and bang, we were ready to go. This other software is a little more tricky, and it's a bit of a learning curve on it. So it'll be back. Just hold on a little bit longer. I promise. Star Wars scroll. Yeah, Star Wars scroll. So actually, do you guys want to know what the we wanted to do it like that. That way we could do more names, because when you only have a set amount of names on the screen, you can't put more. Like you can only put like, I don't know, 18 people or whatever. And then I'd have to have like 50 pages for people. But when you use a scroll, you can just have like all the names on a list and it'll just go around like that. Canva does not have a scroll function. It does not have one, like not at all. There is not one. You can't do it. They just don't have that function within the software. That's why we had to move to a different software, because Canva just don't have it. It is definitely a Star Wars scroll. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, so I promise you guys are gonna like the new one. It's gonna have new branding and stuff on it, which is cool. Actually, do you want to see something else really interesting? One moment. We'll have a break. We've talked so much already. 1 second. You guys can see it a little bit behind me, but this is... Oh. There we go. It's not very it's not very stable, but we've been working on putting this back up. It's out of its box and out of its packaging, and we've been sort of playing with it to try get it put back up on the wall. So if you guys actually, how can we do this? Yeah, there you go. So that's probably where it's going to go, right there. So we're going to hang it up. We're going to put the bulldog clips and rope. So there you go. There's the first time seeing Reeby's poster that she made. So that's where it's going to go. It's really cool. She designed this like 6 months ago. And we just haven't been able to put it up because we damaged a corner on it. Last time we hung it up with those grippy things, it fell and it crushed a corner. This corner here, it's completely bent in, unfortunately, but that looks dope. And you can't use the sticky things. Look, it's got a curve to it. See I can push on it. It's got like a bend to it. So if you put the sticky things on it, they don't sit on the wall properly because it's curved. It's not flat. So there you go. Yeah, it's not flat. So when you put it on the wall, it's actually bent. It's got like a curve to the whole thing. So if you put the sticky things anywhere, they don't make enough contact on the wall, and eventually they just fall off. And that's why those what are they called? Like commander tabs or whatever. We bought a whole bunch, but they don't work. We tried blue tack. We tried Gorilla Tape. We tried Gorilla Tape. Oh, we're just going to use bulldog clips. We figured out a way to do it. We figured out a way to do it. So we're going to put cardboard over the, like where we clip it with the bulldog clip. We're going to put a little bit of cardboard so it doesn't crush the, because this is just foam board with a picture that's been spray glued. So the front of it is actually just a thin piece of paper that's been put over a piece of foam. It's not the whole way through. So you have to be really careful because if you put the clip on it without any protection, it'll just tear it and crush it. So yeah, no more nails. Although there's 2 screws right up there, but that's what we're going to put the rope around. So there you go. Well, no, we can't drill into the wall. We're not allowed to. But there you go. That's the first time I think you guys have seen it, right? That's the first time you've seen the entire poster that Reeby made. It's not heavy, nah. It weighs nothing. You saw me carrying it. I can lift it with like one finger. Like it's light as. But yeah, it's just been a bit of a funny pain to try get it to stick. We thought, that'll definitely work. We'll put commander tabs, like those sticky Velcro tabs. Nah, didn't work. We're like, okay, we'll do blue tack. Blue tack worked for like 2 hours and then it fell. Oh yeah, you saw it fall on me that one time. Yeah. I know. I want to have it up so bad. It looks so dope. I can't wait to have it up. Do we have bulldog clips? We don't have any yet. You gonna bring some home? All right. We're gonna do so. I think we have some, but I think we use them for the cat. Yeah, it's just an awkward thing. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a weird circumstance. I think Reeby thought I was lying to her. I think she's like, "You just don't like my design," and I was like, "No, I love it. was so excited when I picked it up, and I was like, I can't wait to hang this up, and it didn't work. Oh, I showed it to you before, probably months ago. Yeah, well, anyway, the box is gone. There used to be a box here that if you guys could watch the live shows, there used to be a brown box here that was the sign, but we've had it back out again to try and get it back up because, well, we want something more pretty than a white wall. It's a bit boring, the background, isn't it? Actually, we're thinking of putting a shelf up here too, so that you guys can have like subscriber count and things like that on the back wall, and have like little messages and stuff pop up. There's a little sign thing you can buy that runs on your YouTube channel. We're thinking of doing some stuff like that. Make it more entertaining for you instead of looking at my dumb face for too long. You know, you can't look at my dumb face for too long. You end up unsubscribing. I promise you will. Karen Canada says, run a line along the top of the wall and then hang down the line with clips like they did in old mansions. Well, we're just gonna drape it over those screws up there. Yeah, that's sort of why I haven't wanted to bug her, because I'm really worried about her. I hope her test result is not what I think it is, and I hope she's okay. Karen Canada, yeah. Yeah, not heavy. Angela says, do people actually moan about it? Not moan about it, but because I've offered it as a perk of being someone who helps out the channel, they think it's almost like I'm under delivering. Does that make sense? Not that they're moaning about it, more the fact that it's just like they see it as a bit of a perk for helping out. 3mm? You need a bigger screen, bro. The screen I just bought, because the other one died, had all these lines through it. Every time I turned on my computer, I just had all these lines through my screen. And when we came back from the wedding, turned the computer on, I couldn't see anything. The whole thing was black and just like a tiny little strip in the middle with a bit of color. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, the friggin' computer doesn't work anymore. But the monitor died. Bought this one. It's 32 inches. It's monster. It's huge. You guys look giant to me on my screen now. Let's send messages to Reby. Did Forson's mum get messages from all of us? I hope she did. Yeah, you need a bigger screen, bro. Like, I don't know, a tablet. You need like a tablet, like an iPad or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we should change software? Do you not like the StreamYard? Do you think we should change to like a different software where we can make the boxes? Because in this particular one, we don't have a lot of choice. Oh, I like that. Oh, I didn't know we could do it like this. Okay. Ah, I went away. All right, I'm back again. Nope. All right. I think we broke it. Oh no, we're back again. All right. So that's all the options we have. We don't have very many options. Ah. Sean said, yes, I have a 12.9-inch iPad. Hey, no bragging about size in here. I mean, hey, this is not the type of chat. This ain't OnlyFans. This is not only streams. This is not only iPads. We don't talk about size in here. All right. Do you guys want another story? Shall we stop talking about rubbish? Nah, let's not do that one. All right. What about a dude who fled from R-word charges? We always like dumb people who get caught. Fugitive appears in U.S. court as R case goes ahead. All right, we could do that.
have previously advised my client about his right to testify today. It is my advice with Mr. Rossi, as it is with all of my clients, not testify at preliminary hearings. Given the standard that is a preliminary hearing, I do believe he intends to take my advice. Is that still the case?
Just to be clear, then, Mr. Rossi, you're going to follow your attorney's advice and not testify today. Is that correct? Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to find a different video and I was just like, hold on. So, Channel 4 in the UK, US fugitive Nicholas Rossi, did he try to fake his own death and plan his own funeral? Let's just say yes. Let me try and find a better video because that one didn't explain crap to you. Let's go to the BBC News. This is over a year ago, but it'll explain it a bit more.
I'm not talking Mr. Rosie at all. I'm not the name. I said the gang is afoot. It's already started.
This is the extraordinary story of Nicholas Rossi, a fugitive who American prosecutors say faked his own death and fled to Scotland.
Hang on.
It began when he was spotted and arrested in a Glasgow hospital while being treated for COVID. He claimed he was Arthur Knight, an Irish orphan, but a Scottish judge has ruled he is Nicholas Rossi.
This is 12 News Now.
Rossi's case made international headlines.
Authorities say a Rhode Island man faked his own death and then hid out in Scotland.
A story so bizarre it felt like a film script.
Your oxygen mask is not connected.
So I have to hold his full weight. Do you see?
He protested he was the victim of mistaken identity.
I can't make it any clearer, Stephen. I am Arthur Knight.
He claimed he'd never been to America, but across the Atlantic were people who saw through the performance.
You were always absolutely certain it was him. 100% I was the whistleblower. I've known Nick 22 years. I know him better than anybody.
In Rhode Island, people knew Rossi as Nick Aliverdian, a child welfare campaigner. Politicians even paid tribute to him when they were told he'd died.
I'm just joining the memory of my friend. I guess some of the people may know him also, Nicholas Aliverdian, who had a battle with cancer.
An obituary that appeared online claimed Nicholas Aliverdian had been cremated and his ashes scattered at sea. His final words, "Fear not, and run towards the bliss of the sun." In reality, Rossi was a convicted sex offender who'd fled to the UK and morphed into Arthur Knight before COVID stopped him in his tracks.
Once we determined that he was in a Scottish hospital, we were able to confirm through photographic confirmation and DNA that we had our man, so to speak.
Then later on, I find out Nick is alive. It's in Glasgow. Is that right? I said, I don't believe it. I was like, wow.
He was arrested after hospital staff recognised him from an Interpol wanted notice. He said he was framed, even claiming that he was given identical tattoos to Rossi as he lay unconscious on the COVID ward. We heard in court, though, that you were identified by tattoos. Is it worth seeing your left forearm?
I just showed you a photo of it.
Yeah, but could you just raise
Honestly,
up?
I'm exhausted and
Also, just looking at the oxygen, we're getting a little bit low as well.
There was one picture I saw. He's in red silky pajamas. Those were the same pajamas he wore when I was with him.
You think those were the exact same?
I don't think I know those were the exact same PJs.
Slowly, the Arthur Knight charade has been unpicked. Nicholas Rossi faces serious allegations in the United States.
So he's been extradited now. That guy was so weird. And why do these women defend him? Why do they defend him? Like, she's like, "Oh, we're getting a little bit low in oxygen." He's not, you are. Like, I mean, you're getting a little bit low in oxygen, woman. Like, trying to defend him and say, like, don't show your forearm and stuff. Like, Come on, man. Come on. Talk about simps in men. She's a female one. Yeah, so apparently CBS News. We can't use CBS because it's so bright. That's okay. We'll use Channel 9. So it says man accused of faking death and fleeing to the US to avoid, R-word charges will stand trial. Utah judge rules. Here he is now. What happened to him? You saw the photos of him like 5-10 years ago, and now he just looks like no offense, but I think it's all a game, right? He's let his hair grow to crap and he's let his beard get all weird, and he's definitely piled on the weight for no reason. It says here, obviously trying to change his appearance from the different guy that he looked like before, but all he's done is wreck his body. So congratulations, him and his fake oxygen. It says here, District Judge Barry Lawrence ruled during Nicholas Rossi's preliminary hearing that prosecutors had presented enough evidence to warrant a jury trial, according to KTVX-TV reported. Prosecutors say Rossi, 37, R-worded a 26-year-old former girlfriend after an argument in Salt Lake City, in Salt Lake County in 2008. In a separate case, he is accused of R-wording a 21-year-old woman in Utah that same year and was not identified as a suspect for about a decade due to backlog of DNA tests in the Utah State Crime Lab. Well done, Utah State Crime Lab, for taking 10 years to get a female justice. Well done. They said his attorneys at Salt Lake Legal Defender Association did not immediately respond to a request for comment by the Associated Press on Thursday evening. The American fugitive grew up in foster homes in Rhode Island and had returned to the state before allegedly faking his death and fleeing the country. An obituary published online claimed he died February 29, 2020 of late-stage non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Authorities and his former foster family doubted his death. I love how he was recognized in a Glasgow hospital, and they're like, he has the same tattoos. And he's like, you know what they did? It's all a setup. While I was unconscious with COVID in the hospital, they got a tattoo artist to come in and they mimicked. They spent 50 hours remaking this guy's tattoos on me and then, framed me for everything he did. How whack do you have to be to believe that? How much have you been smoking to have to believe that someone snuck into a hospital while you're on a ventilator and gave you the identical tattoos of a man who's wanted for R-word in the US? I mean, it is fanciful. Not even a real thing. No. It's just not a real thing. Let me see if I can find something from a different news channel. So he was extradited back in, I think, January after a long legal battle. Yeah, this is from News 10. What are they saying?
Assault case against former Rhode Islander turned fake death imposter turned international fugitive Nicholas Alaverdian will go forward after a hearing in Utah. We also knew him as Nicholas Rossi and for other things when he was with us.
And for the first time, his lawyer has stipulated that he is Nicholas Rossi. Aaron Coogan joins us live in studio tonight with details from inside the courtroom. Aaron?
Yeah, well, guys, this was a quick hearing delayed by nearly 15 minutes as the defense claimed Alaverdian needed to be administered oxygen. And while allowing his lawyer to stipulate in this hearing that he's Nicholas Rossi, he still insisted on being called Arthur King.
Sam Dugan for Mr. Knight, as well as Mackenzie Potter. I believe we're just waiting for him to be brought up.
Okay. A turning of tides in a Salt Lake City courtroom Thursday afternoon, a defense team arriving to represent Nicholas Alaverdian, despite previous sentiment just months ago that he would represent himself. Only one person took the stand, a sexual assault investigator with the Utah Department of Public Safety, but questioning from the prosecution was cut short.
What was his name at birth?
And Your Honor, just before we go further, defense stipulates to identity. So,
I'm sorry?
Defense stipulates to identity.
Defense is stipulating to identity in this case?
Yes. For the purposes of preliminary hearing, for the purposes of this case, defense stipulates to identity.
The admission of Alaverdian's identity stipulated only as it applied to today's hearing.
Your Honor, with the defense having stipulated to the identity in this case, the identity of the defendant, the state rests.
Alaverdian faces a felony charge in Salt Lake County where prosecutors allege he raped a 26-year-old former girlfriend after an argument and another in Utah County. Until now, Alaverdian has continually denied any affiliation with the suspect in the domestic cases, assuming the identity Arthur Knight. He was arrested in a Scotland hospital in 2021 after faking his death a year prior. Alaverdian continues to speak with an accent and wear an oxygen mask.
Alaverdian is set to be back in court for his arraignment and bail hearing on October 17th.
So we should hear more from this weirdo in October 17th. I just want to know what the women are thinking. You heard that he was accused of at least 2 other women, you know, forcing himself on them, and you're sitting there protecting him, going to interviews with him, and pretending to be the good wife. Think you need your head checked. You need your absolute head checked. You need to leave that guy alone and let him take whatever medicine he's got coming. Let him take it on his own, because he a freaking crackhead for sure. Koala means bear. That's why we call them bears, because they're koala bears. Yeah, like I don't know what to tell you, except for this guy just deserves everything he's got coming to him, and none of what he did helped. He basically had to limp around like a person who's very ill for a decade, and it didn't work. He's now back in Utah facing the charges in Salt Lake County that he was running from for 10 years. So you fled for 10 years, still got sent back, still having to go to trial, and they're still going to fry you at the stake for it, I promise. They will. And all it means is that you're going to be older, more frail by the time if you ever get out of jail. Maybe you might not ever, but if you ever have a chance of getting out of jail, all that means is that you stole a decade from yourself at the other end. So you never got away with it, and now you've got a decade deficit behind you if should you ever get sentenced to a sentence that means you could eventually get paroled. You stole a decade of your own life, so you played yourself. You basically ruined your own life. Have fun with that. They wee on you. What, koala bears or this guy? Probably both. What? Rachel? Where's Rachel? You want to go to Australia and hug a koala bear. They smell like eucalyptus and they smell like wet dog. So you can do that if you want, but they're really greasy. Because they eat so much eucalyptus leaves, they're real oily. Like their fur is really oily. And yeah, they smell pretty bad. I mean, they're pretty fluffy, but they don't smell the greatest. Evil Alaska said it's all fake. What are you're gonna road trip to Australia? You let me know which road you're gonna take, because I'd like to know about that road that takes you from Tennessee to Australia to the koalas. I'd like to know about that road. You could take a flight trip. Don't know about a road trip. Let's see. Let's go to the Dayton Daily News if they'll let us. Let's go read more about Mr. Arthur Knight or Nicholas Rossi or whatever his name is. And they said Dayton sex offender who allegedly faked his own death insists he's Arthur Knight in court. Mate, use something. I don't know what it is. Use something. I don't know if you're Arthur or Rossi or one in the same, but you're in court. It says authorities have said that Rossi had claimed to be an Irish orphan named Arthur Knight, who has never been to America before and whose arrest and extradition to the US to face criminal R-word charges has been a case of mistaken identity. Well, not now after his lawyer admitted in court that he's the same guy. No. Apparently, they said he was a guy named Derek Coates, who's an investigator with the Utah Department of Public Safety, testified in a courtroom in Salt Lake City that a DNA sample from an SA kit matched DNA from Rossi that was in a law enforcement database. Coates said he was assigned to the SA kit program that looked for DNA hits in old sex crimes. So they actually hit it back to his original DNA on file. So that would be, if they hit back to an original thing, that must be a CODIS match, right? Has to be. They said here, he said his DNA from a kit from an alleged SA in Utah County in 2008 was submitted for testing. He said the system indicated there was a match for a suspect from an Ohio case. Oh. It says here, in 2008, he was convicted of assaulting a 19-year-old Sinclair Community College student in the staircase of a building located on the school's campus. Oh my God. That same year, he was accused of sexual misconduct by another female Sinclair student. No criminal charges were filed in relation to that incident. Well, she must be very happy with that. No, she probably wants charges. Coates said a woman whose initials are MS reached out to him after there were news reports about Rossi and the SA case in Utah County. Coates said that MS alleged that Rossi sexually assaulted her as well in Salt Lake County, Utah in late 2008. So this guy was literally like a predator. It wasn't a once-off thing where he got into a fight with his wife and forced himself on her. This guy is literally like prowling the streets and attacking women. Like he's an actual predator. He's the things that your mama warned you about. Says Samantha Dugan, an attorney representing Rossi, asked Coates in court if there was DNA evidence from the alleged SA in Salt Lake County. He confirmed there was no DNA evidence in that particular case. Dugan said on Thursday in court that she advised her client not to testify during the preliminary hearing. He followed her advice. Rossi was also identified as a potential suspect in a 2016 fraud case from his time living in the Dayton area. This guy's done everything. According to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office report, Rossi was suspected of opening up multiple financial accounts in the name of one of his foster parents without their consent. This guy, man, just lock him away. Just throw away the key. Rossi is expected to appear in Salt Lake court again in October for his arraignment hearing. His attorney said he may seek bail. No. Ain't no one giving you bail when you ran away to the the UK. Prosecutors say Rossi R-worded a 26-year-old former girlfriend after an argument in a Salt Lake County in 2008. In a separate case, he's accused of R-wording a 21-year-old woman in Orem, Utah that same year and was not identified as a suspect for a decade due to backlog of DNA test kits at the Utah State Crime Lab. Ay, ay, ay. He was arrested in Scotland after being hospitalized and nearly dying from COVID. Sometimes, you know, we don't get the results that we want. You know, the world might be a better place should things have happened differently. We may not be reading any articles right now. Karen Canada says, ping, did your toilet flush counterclockwise? No, we don't have toilets that do that here. It's an old urban legend. Toilets in Australia don't do that spinning thing. Not like American toilets. I've been to America. I've seen your toilets. And they actually do that spinning thing. Ours don't do that here. Ours just sort of flush. I don't know how to explain it, but they just do. Yeah. So they tattooed him while he was on a ventilator for COVID and almost died. And then an alien came and injected him with the DNA of the suspect in America. They changed his DNA with the CRISPR program. Oh my god, it sounds like something out of Reddit that you read, like one of those Reddit stories, like don't stay up like by yourself or whatever. And they have those creepy stories like Black Mirror. I think he's watched too many episodes of Black Mirror. I need to show you. Maybe one day, but not today. We don't have a camera that can move, so. And we still haven't figured out how to do the mobile camera thing. We have to fix that. One day I'll show you. But Australian toilets do not spin. Yeah, actually. Yeah. So this is actually a science lesson that actually reflects to weather. So if you've ever wondered why tornadoes and hurricanes, cyclones spin in different directions on different sides of the equator, it's the Coriolis effect. And that is what makes it basically. But ours don't spin. Yeah, so they're saying here, the truth of it though is it's too small. You're talking about like mass forces in the atmosphere for hurricanes and cyclones, but a little tiny bit of water in a toilet probably won't do it. But that's what the Simpsons joke is based off. But I've never seen it here. Yeah, see, I'll show you. American toilets work differently, sort of differently to Australian toilets. I'll show you if I can find a link for it. Maybe this one I can show you. So this is what I've seen in American bathrooms, like this, like heaps of water, and then it fills up quite a lot, and then it drains it. But Australian toilets don't fill up with this amount of water, and I'm wondering if part of it is because in Australia we're in a very drought type of climate. Down here it's like desert climate. There's a lot of drought down here. A lot of years with very low rainfall. And we often have things like our dams get down so low, we have to like conserve water for like 3 years in a row until the rains come, and then our dams fill up. It hasn't been a problem in about a decade because we've had a lot of La Nina cycles come through in the last decade. But in the 2000s, when we had like a mega drought, it was a huge problem. They used to have like signs up in the city, like electronic signs saying, today the dam is at 4.1%. And they were like, that is like critical level and stuff. So, but there you go. Lindy says my toilet doesn't spin. I'm in California. You're also in a climate that is also drought in California, so maybe they use a different toilet. The whole world is just losing toilet right now because everyone's going to check their bathrooms. But yeah, that whole Coriolis effect thing, it doesn't work with toilets. So the old Simpsons joke it doesn't really work because the forces that you're talking about are so minute on such a tiny scale in a toilet. When you're talking about tornadoes or hurricanes, they're on such a much bigger scale in the atmosphere that they are affected by that because the different sides of the equator. It works with a bathtub. Did you just fill up your bathtub to test it? Everyone around the world is wasting water right now. Don't show this video to your local water authority. They might come for you. So there you go. So yeah, that's a little bit of a background on it. It's not a real thing. I think toilets are actually also different here. They're a different style of toilet. Because the ones I've seen in America are really weird. They fill with so much water. They fill with like tons of water, as where the ones here don't fill with like. When you flush it, there's a lot of water, but just when it's sitting there normally, it's not that much water. It's very, very little. Angela says, I don't have a bath. I have a bath. Karen Candace says, I'm going to be spending time thinking about this. We all know that. You're going to have to come up with a thesis to prove me wrong. You're going to have to try do that. All right, we're going to have to start winding up for the night, guys. It's really late. I don't know what time it is in California. It's got to be midnight now. Oh, yeah, Lindy knows it from school. Kathy says science and crime with ping. Toilet science with ping. Lindy says, I have a tub but can't get out of it anymore. You need like those, they have like these things to help people get out of them. Those handles that you can get. The West Coast, it's only 10:48, really? That's early. Do we have a police chase on? Do we have a police chase? Let's have a look. Let's check ABC LA. Is anyone running away from the cops? Let's have a look. Nah. No one's running away from police right now. Everyone's being very good on a Friday night. Yeah, I'll take you to a story though. Family mourning father of 2 fatally shot at a Glendale shopping plaza in LA. How terrible.
A heartbroken family is mourning the loss of Robert Danucci, who was gunned down at a shopping center in Glendale. The deadly encounter happened last week on North Pacific and Arden Avenues. Officers found Danucci on the ground in the parking lot in front of a nail salon and a bakery. Police are investigating and don't believe the shooting was connected to a robbery. No arrest has been made, and Danucci was a loving and devoted father of 2 children. A GoFundMe is set up, and it has already raised over $30,000. A service has been scheduled for next Friday.
Fire has destroyed a historic ballpark. The J. Littleton Ballpark is nearly a century old and has been used in movies like A League of Their Own. Eyewitness News reporter Tony Cabrera is live in on.
They burnt down the ballpark. How terrible. No CCTV? I don't know. Let's have a look. What was his name? Danucci. Danucci, that's his name. Robert Danucci. Let's have a look. I don't think I have any CCTV. No. MyLAnews.com. No, they don't have any CCTV either. There is a GoFundMe. Let's see what the Wow, it went up a little bit. There he is. They've almost raised $40,000 only off 61 donations. That's pretty good. Now, it's really nice to see the community helping his family. Let's see. We go 38 grand divided by 61. It's an average donation of $622 per person. It's really cool. Wow, somebody, Baccarat Jaberi donated 5 grand. That's very nice of them. It's very nice to help the family, probably a family friend or something. They said, on August 15th, our family faced an unimaginable tragedy with the sudden passing of our beloved father, husband, and friend. Robert was a loving and devoted father to Dante and Chloe, and the rock of our family. His unexpected departure has left a void that can never be filled. Oh, that's really sad. He was just at a strip mall. What was he doing? It doesn't say what he was doing, just that he was at the shopping center in Glendale. That is awful. At 8:45 a.m. He was killed. He was shot and killed last Thursday around 8:45 a.m. It's very early in the morning. Did he have a shop there or something? Or yeah, let's see. Trying to see if there's more information about it. One of the owners of Stars on Brand Banquet Hall. He was apparently a music promoter. The Glendale community is reeling after the tragic death of local music promoter Robert DeNoshi, a father of two who was fatally shot Thursday morning at a strip mall in Glendale. The incident occurred at 8:45 a.m. in front of Paris Baguette store located at 818 North Pacific Avenue. According to investigators, he was standing next to his white pickup truck in the parking lot when an individual, either on a motorbike or on foot, approached him and opened fire. Oh, that sounds targeted. That sounds like someone targeted him. Someone from the music scene who didn't like something he was doing or wanted his business? Odd. Yeah, something odd there. The fact that he was waiting outside of his vehicle and someone drove up on a car or motorbike and just shot him. That sounds targeted, like they knew he would be there. Yeah, that's true. All right, hey, we're gonna wind down for the night. Hey, I really appreciate everyone. I'm sorry it was a late show tonight. If you catch it on the replay, please leave me a comment. It helps with that algorithm. And one of the other ways to help the algorithm is to go back and watch another video of mine. We're up over 300 and something videos on this channel in the last 12 months. So you have plenty to pick from. Go back and watch some of the early ones that were terrible. Go do that, where Ping puts on a really poor show. Do that. That'd be great. But I will see you. We'll be back tomorrow for Saturday night. If Trish is not going to do a show and she's still very ill, I will try and come on a little earlier. I'll try and come on around 10. Yeah, I'll try and get on around 10 a.m. For everyone. Not 10 a.m. 10 p.m. ping. I'd like to thank my friend Laura T for that Ko-Fi donation. That really helps out. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for all the people who help with stories. Gambler, DJ helps all the time. Rachel, everyone. A lot of people do. Kathy Lynch. I get heaps of stories from heaps of people. Sean does. Maria does. Amy does. Who else? I don't know. Heaps of people. There's heaps of people that help out. Moonlight Views sometimes does. Yeah, there's heaps of people, but some of those ones I spoke about do. Well, did I? That happens sometimes. Where's Sean? I already spoke. I already said that one. I didn't miss it. We spoke about it before. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna keep drinking my disgusting coconut water. You see this stuff? This crap? Natural coconut water? Literally tastes like dirt. I'm not kidding. This stuff tastes like dirt. This tastes like tree water. Like, if they're like, here's a tree that has water and it's come up through the dirt, through all the tree, it's like, dirt and tree water. This is what that tastes like. But apparently it's very hydrating. So I've been drinking it during my shows to stop coughing as much or like losing my voice as much. People have been saying it's been working. It's been working over the last few days. So yeah, she's over there. I'll tell her you all say hi. Angela says it's horrible. It is horrible, but hey, I don't like tea. I don't like hot drinks. So I can't. I'm gonna put some cordial in it and see if it tastes better. I had one the other day that was like a tropical one, and that one was really nice. But this shit tastes terrible. This tastes like ass. It really does. They're like, hey, here is a bottle of ass. Do you want this? You should drink this. It tastes like butt. They're like, let's advertise it to people and tell them it's healthy. What does it taste like? It tastes like crap. Yeah, that's okay. People will buy it. Tell them it's like no sugar, no anything, no flavor. Tastes great. Sean said, yeah, I said it before. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I put it up on the screen. You must have missed it. I did. It's very funny. How do you know what it tastes like? How do you know? You answer first, and then I'll tell you my answer. My answer is probably going to be a lot more fun than yours. But yeah, there you go. Raw sea, pure natural coconut butt. Yeah, they do. Like I said, I had a tropical one the other day. It was really nice. Where is it? I had this one the other day. It was no, that way. Hydrate. This one's a coconut water too, but it was tropical flavored. That one was nice. I like that. That was a good one. This one though, no, tastes like butt. Tell me when to plug my ears. No, I ain't explaining. No, we're gonna go. We're gonna get out of here. Hey, I love you all. I'll see you back tomorrow. Yeah, I can't drink hot drinks. I don't like hot drinks. The only hot watery stuff I like is like soup or like noodles or something like that, broth. But tea and coffee, I don't drink coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, don't drink tea. Yeah, don't like it. Never liked coffee, even when I was younger. Hate it. Don't understand why people drink awful hot water drinks that don't taste much better than this. It really doesn't taste. Tea doesn't taste much better than this. They're similar things. This is tree water. You're basically doing the same with tea. It's like here's some plant and let's put it in some hot water and let's delicious plant water. Chai latte? No, I don't like that either. She likes that. She likes chai latte, but I don't like that. I like iced tea. Yeah, I like iced tea. American iced tea, pretty good. I like that. I like Lipton and Arizona iced tea. They all taste great, but they got like 400 pounds of sugar in it. So black iced tea, that's not too bad either. Fresh mint tea. Don't like tea. Don't like hot drinks. Hey, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with my commentary on hot drinks and plant water. So I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow night, probably around 10 p.m. Have a great Saturday. Peace out. Bye.